Okay, hey, MHayashi. Um, okay, I am so excited to try the new Avengers Disassembled card. I'm so excited that I've actually reconfigured the deck to because I was actually moving in a slightly different direction. But as soon as I saw, as soon as yeah, as soon as you all have brought Avengers Disassembled to my attention, I was like, okay, I've got to. At least the deck has got to be configured so that I can support it because I was kind of moving toward like four Castle Ardenvales before because it was just kind of nice not having to worry about like for example exiling them with the research desk and just not necessarily having both of them on the bottom of the library and running out of win conditions, which like did happen not too often, but every once in a while. But then I just realized rest this how do we pronounce this card? This card is I mean it's not a repeatable like token generator, but it can close the game in not too in not too short fashion. Can also put counters on Solitude for more life gain. So it's just a very solid card. And that gives me, I mean, I still only got 10, red sources, 10 white sources. But hey, 10 white sources supports these Wrath of Gods. So my thinking is, I can have enough red sources to support a, uh, the Avengers Disassembled. But it's not out yet. But I'm just so excited. I'm just so excited to try it that I'm basically these Geomancer's Gambits. Just let's just pretend they're Avengers Disassembled. Um, I mean, they draw a card, so they got that over Avengers, but they're not like a sweeper. It will be an interesting thing though to just consider though, like it as hard as it is to imagine, there is a possibility. It's hard to imagine, but there is a possibility that um that yeah, something like Geomancer's Gambit might actually be still better than Avengers Disassembled. But either way, this will be a good test case because there certainly are certain matchups like I think Tron and certain others that Gambit is going to be better in for the most part because it cantrips. But the flexibility, I just have to imagine, especially since Red White Energy, it's not a bad matchup. I think it's definitely improved since Phlage got banned. Uh, I'm still hesitant to call it a good matchup, but I am kind of thinking maybe with Avengers Disassembled on our side, um, that Red White Energy might actually be a good matchup finally. But again, it's coming out soon. It's coming out soon. I think I'm recording this. I think the weekend before it comes out. So yeah, I'm recording this June 13th. So let's see. Uh, I'm not sure exactly when it comes out, but either way, yeah, this is the standard deck I've been playing around with. Oh yeah, and another thing too. Although I've really liked Soul Partition because of its flexibility and because there's a decent chance that you can keep them off of being able to replay it by hitting their lands. Um, I just found that so often I was bringing in Emergency Eject instead of Soul Partition, just because like Eject for one more mana, it hits basically anything Soul Partition does, but it also just they can't recast it, and that does come up if you're like because not all of your hands are necessarily Hyper Ponza, and that's I think one of the best selling points of this deck is that sometimes you just pawns them out, and this is one reason why I do think Boros is just the way to go rather than mono red. As much as mono red is so near and dear to my heart, the much worse quality of removal in red. The problem is mono red is just too all in. Like I mean, I I think some of you have been playing mono red Ponza, and I don't doubt that it certainly can have its moments and it certainly can have its matchups, but I think the defining feature of Boros Ponza versus Mono Red is just that um, it's just the quality of sweepers, the quality of removal is so high from the white cards that even if we're not drawing the Ponza part of our deck, like we can still play a very, very solid, just straight up control game plan. And that's something Mono Red just can't quite do anymore. I mean, it kind of could back when like Flame Slash and Lightning Bolt really dealt with most of the creatures, but they just don't do that anymore. Um, but uh, but yeah, basically, yeah, the mono red is I feel is just a little too all in. It's Ponza or bust. But this deck, like, there are some matchups where Ponza isn't like that great, and we can still just kind of get there just by just playing the regular control matchup, which is pretty much what the mono white deck is. Like this deck can kind of just pivot and just pretend it's the mono white deck and just not even necessarily be that all in on the Ponza strategy. So anyway, I do want to play a couple more anti planeswalker more than anything cards. But I also like that Vanish into Eternity hits artifacts, enchantments. Like, one thing I like about Vanish into Eternity is that we pretty much have creatures covered. And Vanish into Eternity pretty much hits the only permanent types that we're not necessarily as set up against, especially since we don't have March of Otherworldly Light like we do in the mono white version. So, I don't know. I don't know if this is a permanent fixture, but it does happen to hit, and it also exiles too, in case that's relevant. Back to Relic, I'm not actually sure about this because what's it called? Rest in Peace was just quite a house. But Rest in Peace, one of the things I actually noticed was I started kind of liking that I could play Relic on turn one against Living End, just because I did end up in situations sometimes where I'd have like both Rest in Peace and High Noon against Living End, and it just kind of sucked that sometimes on turn two they would force of negation the Rest in Peace, which I'd usually lead on Rest in Peace, and then sometimes they could just go off, or they could or so anyway, yeah, like they could just kind of go off the next turn, especially if they had like a bunch of street race. So one thing that just got me thinking is like every single time that I lose to Living End post board, when I have like a Rest in Peace and a High Noon, I have a pretty decent hunch because I feel like I was winning in the past when it was this case, but I felt like I probably could have won those games if I could have led on Relic turn one, and then maybe they force negation that, then turn two maybe High Noon, they can't go off anymore, then maybe that gives me enough time that I can Ponza them out. Um, yeah, I mean, you could still beat Living End, but it's definitely a very, very terrifying deck. And I don't know, that's just one thought. It's still possible Relic is just not as good as Rest in Peace. Oh yeah, also since their color requirements are just a little funky, it is just nice that you're not gonna. There is this situation that can happen where you might have red mana and not white mana, and then you can't cast Rest in Peace. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to the games. See you on the other side. All right, Kira, choose you. Let's keep. Let's go. More and more, I'm trying. Let's see here. I'm just not. I'm just not sure. Maybe I should have put it to the grave. It's just if they take it with the Thought Not Sure, I need a backup. Okay. I think hitting Eldrazi Temple is a pretty. Oh, it's this deck. I think this deck is a bit. I think pretty much all of these Eldrazi decks are good matchups, with the sole exception of I find the Eldrazi Ponza sort of green deck. This version of the green deck I find to be much more manageable. Let's just hit this now. Any Rumble. I can't take this. Interesting, they're opting for Ujin. If I wonder if they're kind of combining traditional green Eldrazi with so it took an Emrakul. I guess makes sense. I think this is where I blow a Wrath of the Skies. I don't want to blow Wrath of God. Actually, I can do this for 0. I guess I made 2 energy, but now that I think about it, I could have absolutely Cleansing Wildfire too. Well, lesson learned. Well, maybe good that I saved it. Pick any one of these they want. So the Eldrazi Temple, go Forest. We took Uchin's Labyrinth. Yeah, that's a way better target for Wildfire. Glad I waited after all. I guess it ends up turning out the same in the end. Okay. I wonder if I get a field. Nope. Just how many basic forests they play. If I would have been more efficient last turn, I could have either held up Eject or put Kahira to hand. That is not complete. That is not a completely irrelevant ability. Light rigging, slumbering, slumbering, slumber. Okay. Wrath of God, but I think I would rather Solitude the Fanatic, and the reason why is that this thing has essentially flashback. And might as well attack, I guess. Okay, let me play this thing. Not too worried about Emrakul since I got the Wrath of God. 2 of them, in fact. Fight Reagan. Y'all get caught up in the fight Reagan. Fight Reagan. I'm a little bit worried. What if they get a I think I'm just gonna let this resolve because, or maybe not. Maybe I really shouldn't let it resolve, right? What if I get another thing? Well, that's a thing. I should have used Erode. This is better against Fanatic Ruinous. Okay. This is where storing this up actually maybe comes in handy, because x is equal to 5, so I can do 7. I guess don't mind if I do, right? I did not expect that pumping more energy into that earlier. I thought that was a mistake, but it turns out that led to a very reasonable play there. Alright, so I've got Emrakul, I've got the Wrath of God. And since this is protection of instants, they can't waste my erodes or my ejects on this. So this, unless we rip a Solitude, okay. It's looking like best of all worlds here. I like it. I like it, like it, like it. Yeah, I can get behind this. Yeah, I'll take that. See, if they would have drawn like a Cleansing Wildfire, they could have hit one of my own lands. If they would have drawn like a Solitude, they could have pitched one of my Wrath of Gods. And they might as well do that, but of course, yeah, I can't use a road, right? What is this? Yeah, there's no targets. Okay. Do this. Yeah. Yeah, seems good. Okay. They deck themselves super fast here. Visions Labyrinth. Check Eldrazi Temple, obviously. Might as well go after these one at a time. Let's take a mess up their shuffle. Mess up their scrying, I mean. And that, by the way, applies even if they put all 4 to the bottom, because then I shuffle those back in and maybe they draw them. So, plus I just got to deal with this temple anyway. Nice. The Ghost Quarter to me indicates that they probably have a Ice Till Explorer. I probably got another Kozilek's Command. Hopefully I get another Field of Ruin. Nope. Oh, this is not nothing. So paradoxically, I'm actually going to go after this. And the reason why is that I'm pretty sure they have I forget what that card's called, but I'm pretty sure they have endurance. That's it. Solitude. Guess I might as well. Okay. Another Emrakul. Okay, that's fine. And this time they can waste my stuff if they so choose. I guess there's no real playing around it, so fine. Surprised they didn't hold priority and then waste the rest of the stuff. Okay. Maybe they don't know how to hold priority. I guess they were pretty bottlenecked on mana, I guess, so that pretty much did exactly what could have done anyway. Let's see what we get off the top. Okay. First things first, I'm gonna do this. Might as well hit this too. Why would they play that right into my path? Oy vey. I think they're immediately regretting that. They're like, oh man. I kind of don't want to play this because I kind of want to just crank the monastery since this is this burns through too many cards in my deck. Okay, what is this? Oh, Prowess. All right, well let's do this because why not? Okay, might as well do this because why not? Got nothing more to go after. We'll do this here. Yeah, this one seems good. I know I kind of said I didn't like the field as much, but I guess right there, just too good use of mana. I'm still ahead on cards. Fight rigging. You get caught up in the fight rigging. Fight rigging. The question is, should I let them have it? I think not. I could just rely on the Wrath of God, but then I'm also going to have to use the Solitude, and it's just like, I just don't want to deal with all that. I just don't. I mean, like, it's really possible I'm just being a little bit of a, I don't know. Like me, my Solitude. Let's go. Probably I had an extra mana. I could have played that. Okay. I guess I might as well start doing this. Six. Ready. Noise. So this might be where Geomancer can be good. In fact, this might be one of those matchups where Geomancer is better than Avengers Disassembled. This is what to take out, though. Taking out Research Desk seems very iffy. Maybe eject. Although they do play Ujin. Relying only on Erode seems a little iffy. But on the other hand, we could just rely on trying to keep them off of that much mana. Could actually use Relic to kind of draw cards and also. But this is technically card advantage, and it filters. All right, got this card. A little extra win condition. That also taps for both colors, not bad. Okay. Restless Bivouac. Okay. I think this has got to be the right move. Seems like they mulliganed. They mullied. It's not us here. Okay. Yeah, just do this. I'll let them take my Erode. That's what they want to take. Might take Wrath of God, but Eldrazi spawn token isn't worth that much. God, okay. Oh, I like Parlor, but I think this is better. So I think I'm gonna tank a hit from the Thought-Knot here. Reason is that I don't think I want to use the Erode. I have to use this because this. I didn't see any endurances last game. I don't know, maybe I should have tanked a hit. No, I think I had to. I didn't want to use Erode, didn't want to use Solitude, so I think that is what it is. Use Wrath of God because as long as I hold the Solitude, that can deal with Emrakul. I could just keep waiting, and I could use. Ooh. Okay. Because I could use Wrath of Skies. In fact, I think I better do that. I think I'm not going to flash this back because unless I literally get land, I don't want to get locked into playing whatever the other card is. So if they play Emrakul, I'll have to pitch the Solitude just so they won't be able to pitch the Wrath of God. But I still should be covered. But this way I can use Wrath of the Skies. Which is a little less critical than Wrath of God. Plus I can get rid of that thing, which is annoying. Let's go. Now I've got another. I've got Kahira to pitch to Solitude. Fight rigging. You'll get caught up in the fight rigging. Fight rigging. The slumber. I'm going to say rather not. Bam. I could Wrath of the Skies, but let's do this. How about we? Geomancer. Yeah, I like Geomancer. Go after basic. Notably, if this was Avengers Disassembled, I would not draw a card in this scenario. So, but the added utility has got to be better because, as you can see, I'm not necessarily so sure we needed to draw that card there. Which card am I going to pitch? Guess Wrath of God could be a little dangerous, but this is a little too good. Plus, they already know about the Wrath of God. Gotta love the demolition field, I think. So now they don't have double colorless for Kozilek's command. Can hold up Erode, which is good. Can hold up this 2 now, which is also good. Okay, that I think I could just path. I think I'm gonna save this because I'll tell you why. What if we draw off of Research Desk a removal spell? And I guess that is a removal spell. I'm gonna wait. I don't think them getting 1 more mana or 2 damage makes that big of a difference. 3 damage, I guess, if they attack. Actually, I think I probably should have prevented them from gaining 1 more life. Might as well do this now since... Okay. Okay. Rumble. They have enough mana for Cool. I think they got an Ugent's Labyrinth, so Microspawn? Yeah, must be Microspawn. Guess I might as well erode this. Okay, I like it. I'm gonna use my... Wait a minute. Oh, I forgot that they can do that. Sacrifice another creature. Gain X life. X is that creature's power. Maybe, maybe not. Let's not allow that. We don't want to pitch the Solitude. Yeah, I think I have to pitch the Solitude. Let's just do this. Why not? Wrath of God is a good one, but hmm. I still can't cast Emrakul. I should probably have tried to actually forgo my lands. Yeah, well, I'm definitely Wrath of Disguising now. Should have waited until after this resolved, because this is going to force a shuffle. Nice. Oh, it's cost 6 mana. Would you look at that? Somehow I thought it was 5. We fight Regan. Yes, yes, yes. They fight Regan. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess second first, same as the first. I'll just Wrath of the Skies again, I guess. Alright, now I have 6. There we go. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Feeds into the Wrath of God that I want to. Interesting. Just so worried about. I don't think I want to. I don't think I want to actually do that anymore. Just start cranking out tokens. They're gonna play Rona, so I'll play Solitude. Pretty nifty little effect here. Very important to actually close out the game. Fight rigging, okay. They sure rigged that fight. Don't mind if I do. Varonas. Do this. This. I'll do this. We will do this. Nice. Okay. Well, let's see. I guess I will keep. I think this is exactly what Parlor is for, to put that into the graveyard. This green Eldrazi deck seems super popular. I don't know if it's the green deck, to be fair. It could be some other version, but okay. Okay, good old-fashioned Tron. Mindstone, okay. I think I will do this. Eject, yeah, I think Eject is a... Eject on Mindstone, not bad. The most earth-shattering play of all time, but doesn't have to be. Notably, I'm 2 cards deeper into the deck, so there's that. Yeah, Thought Not Seer. Eldrazi Tron. I don't think I've seen a non-Eldrazi Tron. The Eldrazi just got a little too good. Also blurs the line because I think regular Tron started to realize, hold on, why aren't we playing Thought Not Seer? Are we missing something? What's going on, guys? I hope I don't get Troned out, but I think taking them off an extra 2 mana. Ooh, that's interesting. I think I'll tank the hit because if I get a removal spell, I want to get value out of it. It's probably worth losing 4 life. Plus holding Erode is better if they drop a Karn, which they very well could right here, right now. Okay. Did I play Wrath of the Skies? I don't think so. If I don't necessarily want or need this Quarry Mountain Monastery, but hey. I'm going to use this before they drop a Karn. The Price of Freedom is, I think, absolutely the play. They forgot to fetch before, I guess. Could happen to the best of us. Ooh, sassy. Good thing I've got this eject. Very solid. A good thing I didn't use this earlier. So, do this on that. I still think I probably want to hold on to the Erode. Taking a little more damage though than I would ideally like, but I think it's a price worth paying. That could be a problem because I kind of needed that Erode. I'm pretty sure they're going to take. I was so worried about Karn that somehow I didn't see this, but that's what it is. Well, okay, that I think was a mistake. I cannot help. I cannot help but feel that was a mistake. Yeah. I don't take any more unnecessary damage from these guys. Okay, well, good thing I happened to draw that other road. Actually, Restless Bivouac can actually just take this out. It's pretty nice. I don't actually have to use my road. Okay. Not bad. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Yeah, Manland's actually kind of missing the the wonderfulness of the old man lands. The Mindstone, okay. Yeah, I want more of my Ponza. I guess. Okay, Eldrazi Temple. Okay, definitely not one of the more scary cards. In fact, I think I'm going to even wait to Corey, because if I reveal a little spell, which I do, although maybe I want to do this on the Mind Stone. I'm just going to leave that Mind Stone sitting around. Eventually I'm going to draw Wrath of the Skies. I'm already over halfway through my deck. Okay. And there it is. Well, let's do this first. Okay, should I Biovac? I'm going to wait on the Biovac. I'll probably Quarry Mountain in a turn. Research desk, not the best. That is good though. I'm probably not going to activate the research desk though. I don't see the point. Ready? All right, well, Biovac should take care of that. Don't mind if I do. go. They can pay for it, man. I'm not sure what that does for them. All right, let's go. I'm gonna pump up my token. Okay. They have no play, so I'll just do this. Alrighty. Well, this is where Geomancer comes in. Yet another matchup where this is going to be better than Avengers Disassembled for what it is worth. It's making me kind of wonder how necessary Avengers Disassembled really is. It really depends. I mean, it's going to be excellent, I think, against Boros Energy. And it's going to be excellent against some of those more aggro sort of Eldrazi decks. But we don't actually see too many aggro decks other than... Well, I guess it's going to be... Could it be good against Boros Prowess? So we'll probably have to try it out. But this isn't... It is interesting to note that good old-fashioned Geomancer's Gambit in the sideboard could just be better. That is possible. So what's the plan? What's the plan? What's the plan? Wrath of God, Wrath of Sky is excellent. Solitude excellent. Eject excellent. I think Path is the least excellent of the bunch. I don't think we need Solitude as much since that Bivouac, whatever you call it, Bivouac. Not sure how you pronounce that. So I'll take out 2 Solitudes for 2 Vanishes because this can deal with Planeswalkers, which they didn't necessarily quickly spit out against us, but those can quickly become a problem. We do make ourselves a little more vulnerable to Emrakul, though, but it's a price we have to pay because we can't be perfect at everything. That is the truth. Right. Fortunately, Geomancer a little expensive. Labyrinthian Labyrinth. Ooh, Trini. Trin. Not by the hair on my Trin. Okay. Now we're cooking with gas. I would love to bluff, but they're gonna see right through it because I have to play this. If it wasn't for the fact that I have to keep a field up, I would have bluffed. I would have bluffed it. in case we draw another tap land. They don't play Warping Whale, but they obviously didn't, but that's what I was thinking. Okay. Okay. Yeah, turn 3 Trinisphere, or it's turn 2 Trinisphere. I think it's the turn 2 Trinisphere. Can be a little bit punishing. Ooh, Going Flushbreaker, that's a good one. I don't have the double white to fully punish that. Okay, that could be brutal. I hope I rip another white because I would love to play Wrath of the Skies and also hit the Trinisphere while I'm at it. I would love that so much. It would be excellent. To quote Shang Tsung. Oof. Let's do this, I guess. I gotta hit white mana. But if they have another thing, then it's gonna be lights out. But I gotta do this because that's 1, 2, plus 8. Needless to say, this would have been a good spot for this to be Avengers Disassembled. Okay, so not dead yet, but probably will be, because even if they don't have another Kozilek's Command, all it takes is one more colorless spell. Can't cast this because Transfer. And it back. Somehow I got both mana screwed and a little bit slowed down by the Trinisphere. Can't help but feel that we just kind of lost to a funky draw more so than the Trinisphere, though, because we easily could have curved out to 6 mana and double spelled not even under a Trinisphere, but it just didn't happen. I had no idea they had Glaring Fleshraker, so I'm not sure I would have brought in. I would have 100% brought in Avengers Disassembled. So there you go. Like that would have been a perfect showcase, so to speak. let's go. Not bad. This counts as a plane, so I think that's going to be the obvious play. Yeah, and once again, I think that's kind of the whole point of playing Parlor. So I want to be able to do that when that comes up. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to get too... just going to do this. Win a demolition field and play the research desk. Yep. Alright, Ujin's Labyrinth. They play Karn. I will simply have to eject. Okay, good. That's a lot less problematic than Karn. What does this do? Can't cast spells from graveyards or libraries. Do I cast anything? I guess I cast the... No, I don't cast this from the graveyard. I like resurrect it of sorts. Not 100% sure. Almost tempted to do this so I can hit the Mind Stone while they can't draw a card. But this also kind of... I mean, they can bring it back to their hand, but, you know, so be it. I don't know why I brought back the red one. I get the feeling they meant to return the Devourer to hand. Ooh, wasn't expecting that, I'll tell you that much. Whoa, I also wasn't expecting to name Cleansing Wildfire. I thought they were going to name Research Desk. I'll do this, because let's do it now or forever hold your peace, as they say. Yeah, might as well do this. I think I will bluff it by and get them to pay out the liquid metal coating. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure they're gonna go for liquid metal coating. Or they could go to Trinisphere, I suppose. If they go for Trinisphere, I have to just hit the Karn. But if they go for liquid metal coating, I'm going to wait for them to play it, because I'm pretty sure the correct play is to play it and to uptick. And because I want them to spend 2 mana. I want them to have to use that resource. But also I want them to play a liquid metal coating into my Wrath of the Sky. So that's going to be the plan. It might seem a little greedy, but I think that is going to be the plan here. I mean, they could just uptick again, but I think this is the play here. Okay, gotta do this in response. Now that has been exposed to a Wrath of the Skies. Okay, well they'll be able to draw a card off of mine still, but still a pretty juicy Wrath of the Skies if I do say so myself. Bam. This way I can attack a future Karn. I actually did not realize just how good Restless, however you pronounce that, is. Okay, against Tron. Let's see. Yeah, I like Geomancer. But I'll probably have to Wrath of God, just because it's just such a pain. Such a pain in the butt to have to deal with this thing making tokens and such. Little mana screwed. Little mana flooded, I mean, sorry. Okay, Oh, okay, only lands. Let's see. Keep. Did this person unwittingly register a Pioneer deck? I think I need that. I hope this doesn't just insta-kill me. This does. This looks like a Pioneer mono red aggro before they banned Heartfire Hero, which was one of the weirdest bans of all time. I guess it's a pretty solid card. I mean, that's a pretty chunk of damage. Could just be like burn with some odd choices. If it's burn, we're screwed. There's kind of no chance here. I kind of don't want to unmana screw them, so I guess I have to do this. I'll do this. Hit the Heartfire Hero. Probably play Eject. Is this secretly Prowess? Maybe I'll just tank it. Do that before they can utilize the mana. Looks like red-black Prowess. Wild Ride, okay. Well, I'm definitely going to be using both these spells on these. Okay, tapping the land for wrong mana, but I'm going to do. Sure enough, they got another basic. Red-black Prowess. Ooh, that is a spicy meatball. I need like a path or something. Okay, getting a little real here. Ouch. Come on, gotta draw something good. I think that qualifies. Wonder if I need a hasty blocker. This actually isn't sacrifice. Okay, let's see if we can actually close the game out before they can rebuild. Wow, I was not expecting that. Not at all. Wow. Oof. I don't know if High Noon's good in this matchup because I don't really have much experience in this matchup. Not at all. Oh man, what is the play here? What is the play? I mean, I could just run it back when in doubt. I can't help but feel Wild Ride. No, Wild Ride might actually. I mean, High Noon might actually have a place. I don't know if they play artifacts or not, but I find the odds of that a little bit higher than that being useful. All right, we'll do it. I mean, I can always fling this. Yeah, I've got a strong feeling they play for Quarry Steel Cutter. Strong feeling. I don't know about this one, but I'll keep it because off the this is the kind of hand you can only keep because of Research Desk, and there is an argument to be made that Research Desk baits you into keeping trap hands like this without it. But I have definitely been there, done that with hands that I've been mulliganing to other unplayable hands. Plus the Solitude helps, and as you can see, sometimes the Mr. Research Desk helps us keep a hand, and then we happen to draw anyway. But yeah, the Solitude goes a long way. This is one reason Solitude is so important, because when your mana is a little funky. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think we gotta do this. I'm not so sure about Wrath of God here. I'm not so sure, not so sure, not so sure. I'm gonna keep it though, because ultimately it is creature removal. I'm probably gonna have to pitch the Wrath of the Skies if they play what I think they're gonna play. Yeah. Wild Ride. No Ancestral Anger, okay. Actually, what if you know what? I'll do this. They gain one more life than they needed to, but because I just realized I don't think they're going to draw a card if I respond. Hopefully they don't kill me with Slick Shot. Yeah, they didn't draw a card. That's huge. I think it's worth it. Okay. Let's go. If they don't pump it, I'll probably, yeah, see if I can get another land for a Wrath of God. Let's go. Crap. Yeah, I gotta make my land drop though. It's the one time where I wish this was okay. I do feel like Erode could be good though. Alright, this could be ill-advised, but I am going to be a little greedy, play this. This limits just how much they can unload on me. So I'll set this up for a Wrath of God. Yeah, oh, this is going to be good. They can't play another one because this limits to one spell per turn. Yeah, okay. I was not exactly expecting this Wrath of God to be this juicy. Definitely glad I left this one on top, that's for sure. Yes! Alright, let's see if we can keep the good times rolling. This hand's a little sketch, but I'll keep it. This is where Research Desk is super helpful if I draw it. But if not, hopefully we just draw a land. This is the kind of hand, though, that if we don't draw a dual or a red source, I'm in this little bit of a quandary where I may want to fetch a red source so I can unlock playing Price of Freedom, but then that also makes it so I can't play Path the same turn, and I also won't have double white for Wrath of God, so you know, the Boros stack definitely has a little bit of an issue with mana screw. Sometimes that's the biggest weakness. I think if we somehow, if like they started printing like basic lands that could tap for red and white, that is over. Like if they start playing, because then we could even go like 8 or even above. But like, yeah, if they basically if they start printing lands that count as basics and you can play more than 4 of them and they tap for red and white, I don't know why they do that, but like if they did, I'm thinking Boros is definitely superior to mono white. I think the community was onto something, and there's a reason why this deck has gained a lot of popularity. It's not just crazy old me playing it anymore. However, However, the one thing that just gives me a little pause though about that mono white deck is just that I mean about that mono white deck possibly being better is just that the mana still is not perfect. It just isn't. Okay. Might as well. I think I'm going to want to hit this because I want to hit their colorless sources. Kozilek's command. Okay. I don't want to mana ramp them, but I also want to get a red source. Yeah, I think I gotta mana ramp them. It's not my first choice, but what are you gonna do, right? Let's do this. Hopefully they don't just brute scale combo me out, but I mean this is the at least the minimizes the chances that I lose to myself. That's the thing, I just really don't want to lose to myself. That always just sucks a little too much. Okay, well, now I actually have Price of Freedom as a way to try to deal with that. A cope, if you will, for dealing with that. Let's do that here. We want to get a white source. Generally, white is better than red in this deck for the most part. Then there's Disassembled, obviously changes the equation a little bit, but I'm not even necessarily convinced it's being deckable because like you just need these cards essentially. Okay. I think I gotta hold. Yeah, I gotta hold up this. Should have held up double white, but it is what it is. Because if they play Basking Brute Scale into ooh, it's a little bit let's just say less than ideal. So it's not the Brute Scale deck. They typically, but this, I mean, typically they don't play Micro Spawn in the macro Spawn, whatever you call it, in the non-Brute Scale deck. But all right, whatever. Obviously, if I would have known they'd have that, I probably would have just unloaded the Price of Freedom. Ooh, not bad. Not bad, not bad. I think I will do this. There's the Brood Scale. We did actually see that coming. We did. Both Seiju, Verdant Catacombs, Eldrazi Temple. They definitely have Brood Scale. I say let's intercept. That's generally a more dangerous target than the macro spawn, Makayo spawn. Oof. Yes, this is just ugh. This is blah. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Ooh, delighted halfling. Blood Halfling. Tempting me to Wrath of God, but I may not want to do that. Let's just do this. Because I do want to hold the Wrath of God in case they have an Emrakul. That really can surface just about any time. I'll take this one. I was just saying this is pretty much good at every point of the game. This is unfortunate though, because I don't have red to play it. But at least I'm 2 cards deeper into my deck, so where I can actually start, you know, doing real things. Later the Blood Sheaf, okay. Okay. I could wait for them to pump, but let's not. Let's just not. I don't want to do that. I just don't. Yeah, that would have been a lethal combo there. Oh, dang it, man. This is not. This is not cool. I mean, Brute Scale won't be an instant kill, I don't think. Okay. And Wrath of the Skies would actually be not bad. It's quite amazing how that one sowing Makayo spawn really screwed things up for us. We should have had another red source. Oh, not bad. I like it. That's a good use of their spawn token. Hopefully I draw lands I can play Wrath of God. Be kind of cool. Yeah. Might just have to play these just to stay alive here. Yeah. They're probably going to Kozilek's Command. And I think I have to double Erode. Taking 6 damage is a little brutal, so I guess I'll just say no to that. On field. Wow. That sowing Micah spawn really screwed us up. Because I can't flash back the research desk either. Yeah, okay. Okay. All right. I think I gotta start unloading these things before I get cut off from red again. even though I kind of want to block. I mean, that's not bad. Claw my way back into this. A little bit worried they got brute scale. Possibly I should have just let that rip, but not bad. Guessing they got another wave A. They could equip to 2, sack 2, attack for 4. They could equip 2 to 1, sack 3, attack for 6. Next end step. All right, we are pitching, I guess, Kahira. I would probably just waste the Wrath if I were them. Yep, that's a good use of the. At least it's at least pretty minimal damages, all things considered. Finally, this shows up. A little late. Let's just do this. It's going to be hard for them to do the brute scale combo with 1 less mana. So they can brute scale attach, but unless they have a walking ballista in hand, which they'd have to waste by playing it, they can't complete the combo this turn. Okay. Alright, obviously I've got to hold up eject. Forever hold my peace. More Broodwaker. I got to take Fleshraker, I'd imagine, no? I think this is probably the best, because what this enables me to do is proactively deal with the combo pieces. Last card in their hand is Kozilek's Command. That's unfortunate. Okay, actually, not too bad. Bye-bye eject though, but I probably live with that. I'm obviously flooded on Wrath of Gods. Yep. Saw that one coming from a mile away. If we don't have some Glaring Fleshreaker kill or something together with the combo. Bam. MoneyGram. Not endorsed by MoneyGram. Okay. Let's do this. Not bad. Vexing the Bobbler. Vexing Bobblemeister. Okay. I mean, that's good. Should I Restless? I think it's better to hold that up. Come on, attack. Okay, I saw right through that. Let's go. Take that. Okay. Out of vegetables though, but it is what it is. Yeah, this is another good thing about this man land. It's a good blocker. I don't know what I was doing not playing this. Oh no. Okay, good. In my deck. Okay. Oof. Wow, what a hard fought battle that was. That was insane. That was insane. It was insane. I don't know that I actually want to play Geomancer instead of Eject. It's kind of greedy because the Eject is super is super good at intercepting what the Glaring Fleshraker can get me. But on the other hand, what Geomancer does is helps me draw into more of my wrath. This should definitely be this is the quintessential matchup. The thing is, I'm not necessarily convinced we need more help in this matchup. I have been hearing from some of my viewers though that this matchup can be a bit of a struggle. I can definitely see it. That last matchup was definitely that first game was definitely losable. But just in my experience, I have generally come out on top. But these kind of things, as you can see, they're close enough that they could, anyway. This is a quintessential matchup, though, where Avengers Disassembled do a lot of work in. Sweep all these little guys. Help keep their land suppressed. Okay, that's going to complicate things as far as the Solitude goes. Okay, good to know that they got Warping Whale. Gotta hold this up because if they happen to have the combo, I'm not a big fan of that. Tron, okay. Another Saga. Good name. Erode, okay. Restless Bivouac. Okay. I guess I gotta bluff it. Cleansing a Wildfire seems pretty legit to me. I should have, yeah. King thingy. So they still got the Vexing Bauble, so I can't really. This thing grows infinitely large, but I can't attack with it just yet. So they have. Okay, I'm gonna probably take my research desk. Interesting. I would have taken the research desk. That's just me. this? Wrathful God. Hmm. Okay. Okay. I can still get it infinitely large. I don't have anything to sack yet, though. I don't want them to have infinite mana. Like that. Come on, no Emrakul. Glaring Flasherica. Yes. Yes, okay. What? Oh, yeah, good equip, okay. Perfect. Let's do this. I swear to God, they don't rip a Emrakul. Oh. Okay, good. So one by one. Brick by brick, as they say. Hit these things. I have to confess that that is a good one. Nice. Okie dokie, let's go. Keep. Okay, well, if this is going to be what these, hopefully this isn't the, I'll keep that. This isn't the brood scale. I mean, not brood scale, this isn't the, I forget what it's called. They're showing macro spawn and seems a little bit generic Tron, but it's hard to say because okay, it's a Tron. It's a Tron variant. Biovac could be good. I want to get Biovac down, and I'll tell you the reason why. It's because this is an excellent answer to Karn, as we found out before. Although, now that I think about it, yeah, maybe I just let them get Tron unnecessarily. Let's see, maybe we. I wish I would have had access to that a little earlier, but hey, what are you gonna do? Get Tron, and natural Tron, okay. Okay, think I hit one of my 8 Planeswalker, anti-Planeswalker cards. Yeah, I guess so. I want them to have Tron, but I can't just let them keep. Unless they could easily just recover whichever Tron land. And I know not to go after Tower, although I probably would have not gone after Tower anyway. Yeah, I can live with that. Okay, I'll path that for sure. I'm probably gonna take the Erode. Better to just make sure they don't have access to Tron. Well, hopefully they don't have Dismember, because it's a weird one, but still Citadel. Not bad. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna take a Wrath of God. Yeah, I want my Field of Ruin. I really just want to keep them off of Tron. Just really do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so they can play Devour. Makes me definitely glad that I held the Wrath of God in that case. I like Erode, but I have to imagine long-term Field of Ruin is the play, right, isn't it? On the Tron. Oh, I forgot about that one. Interestingly, they took Kahira. I have to take that out just in case they have Warping Whale. I hope they don't get Tron. If they do, I hope they can't utilize it super well. Okay. I wonder if I should do. I think I will. I'll do this. Not bad, but I can't play it this turn. Not bad. Continue to do this. I like path. surprised they played that right into eject. Maybe. Okay. I'll take it because we were getting a little close to the wire with the but with this card I think I am more confident than ever of actually going to close the game. We want Vanish because we definitely need more Planeswalker hate. Geomancer is, I mean, this is one thing that's making me wonder if well, but I probably don't need more help in this matchup, so that's the thing. I'm very curious to try Avengers Disassembled. Path. Once again, I think I can cut a couple Solitudes. I got enough win cons. This Research Desk is too good at just finding stuff. Let's go. Wow, look at these colors. Okay. Well, this is a little funkadunk. Funkadunk. Again. I know it's weird, but yeah, much less funkadunk. That's a good card, but I think me. Also, I should have just relied on these to draw me more cards, but it's hard to get past the card advantage here. Legion, Kozilek, Emrakul. Let's see what we surveil. It's a little too important. It seems like we don't really surveil much to the bottom, but I also very rarely actually wanted to put a Secret Foundry into play on tap too. So it's very, you know, it could go both ways basically. Let's just put it that way. Tower, sure, okay. Ooh, Flash Reika. It's very flush Reiki. Yeah, we'll play red. I don't know. Wrath of Godding. I played white, so I could play the Field of Ruin, but whatever. Got a feeling. I got a good feeling though about this. It definitely has not spiraled out of control yet. Definitely doesn't look like it's going to anytime soon. A little hesitant because I don't want to get Emrakul, but they're very far away from Emrakul mana, so there is that. Ouch. Okay, okay, I can dig that. Okay. I'm a little white screwed here, but they must have Ghost Expand. Okay. Yeah, Vanishing Memory seems pretty solid. They're feeling a concession's coming on. I'll comment at the end of the game. I don't want to count my chickens before they roost. But I appreciate that, man. Wow. Okay. Alrighty. And there we go. Another trophy. This is most likely going to be the last trophy until the season resets, or however you call it. These things. Um, Man, it was kind of exhilarating that I've come closer to at the being the trophy leader than I have. I think in like maybe was it 5 years? Like I mean, has it been time flies like 5 years or something. Back like fun little fact. I think I was the trophy leader one season, although I don't know. Somebody might have passed me at the literal last second, um, but yeah, I actually was the trophy leader during the pre-banning Lurrus era, or the pre-errata Lurrus era, and I think I still maintained it after Lurrus got errated. But man, let me tell you, Lurrus like because it's crazy actually. I was already kind of experimenting. Um, I was already kind of experimenting with this sort of prowessy type build, but going in a slightly different direction, like cutting everybody was playing that what's that card called again? Bedlam Reveler. That's a real old school sort of prowess card. But I was already starting to realize, like, hey, wait a minute, like Bedlam Reveler, this card's cool, but I think I can cut this because I was playing like Abbot of the Cruel Keep and some other cards that also gave me good card advantage. Anyway, long story short, it's just I was already starting to think like, hey, I think Prowess without Bedlam Reveler might actually even be better. And then right then, Lurrus gets printed with you just plop it out for 3 mana. Normally I don't splash other colors, but But I'm just like, okay, I'm making an exception. I'm splashing white because Luris, I was like, I can't believe this. So I actually pretty much immediately shot to the top of the leaderboard because I was already actually kind of I was already kind of like actually feeling like Prowess was maybe the best deck in the format even before Luris was printed. And then when Luris was printed, I'm like, okay, it's over. And I've never experienced that before or since, where like I felt like I was at the cutting edge of like actually having the best deck in the format, and I was actually like working at it at just the right time. It just kind of sucks that I couldn't play more like challenges or other things that I could have maybe actually, maybe that was my one chance in life that I could have actually made some kind of run for some kind of accomplishment in Magic that wasn't just being trophy leader or something. But alas, I did not. My work situation was and is not conducive, I think, to actually really going for something like that in Magic. At least not anytime soon. Maybe in my golden years or something. What if I'm like 67 years old and I actually win like a pro tour or something? Has anybody like over the age of like has anybody like 40 or above won like a pro tour or a Grand Prix or something? I'm sure they must have. At a certain age though, it must be just kind of hard because there's so much shit you got to keep track of. Excuse the French. Not that old people can't be incredibly sharp, but it's just like it's kind of. I would imagine it can be kind of brutal, and especially these decks, you got to play these kind of fast, or you get timed out, or you could lose to draw in a real tournament. So I don't know how much more I've got left because I do have to imagine that if your decision making process isn't like super quick, um, it is possible that after a certain age it might be pretty difficult. But we're not there yet. We're not like why are we already talking like we're like I'm an old man? But regardless, like I don't know why I went down memory lane. Look, we got a trophy. Um, Deck felt perfect. Only thing is we weren't actually playing Avengers Disassembled, which was kind of like, But I will say, I think the mana accommodates it. I think this, it is an interesting question. Am I going to play that in the sideboard or the main? I will say I have been, playing what's this card called? Brotherhood's. Uh, I have been playing Brotherhood's End. I tried it in the main deck just to see how just like a generic sweeper, just a 3 damage sweeper, like how good that was. It's not that great. It's not that great. Like it's kind of we don't need like 12 sweepers, and I felt like I couldn't cut Wrath of God because Wrath of God just man, it's good against Living End because it just resets no matter how big their creatures are, no matter how many they have. It deals with that 10/10 pro white, pro black creature, even though Brotherhood's End isn't white, so it doesn't care about the pro white. I mean, it deals 3 damage, so it's not going to kill a 10/10. Wrath of God, even though it's white, it actually kills the pro white creature. Go figure. Go figure. The red card does nothing, and the white card kills the pro white creature. But regardless, yeah, I've just found. Oh yeah, plus as you saw how important Wrath of God is for dealing with Emrakul, the Promised End. It's a very critical piece of our puzzle of making sure we don't get got by Emrakul. So, it's hard for me to think about cutting Wrath of God. So that puts me in an odd place because um, it really whether or not Avengers Disassembled is going to be in the main deck, I think comes down to just how impactful that Ponza type effect is going to be. I'm actually not sure. I might actually start playing it in the sideboard. I think it's got to be at least though. Like it's got to be at least in the sideboard. It feels crazy that it wouldn't be in the main deck, but I am just really thinking just from playing around a little bit that Wrath of God I think is not cuttable. I think it's non-negotiable. Also, like they can't play what's it called? Oh yeah, Kappa Cannoneer, and they can't even use Welding Jar to save Kappa Cannoneer with Wrath of God. It's just that good. It's so important. Um, but yeah, I do have this suspicion though that Avengers Disassembled is going to be um, and actually, is this even like can I even show it yet? Avenger. I'm sure you guys all have seen the spoiler. Avenger. Oh man, versions. Da, 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 da. Show. I do not want to show versions separately. Okay. No, Avengers Disassembled is not like. Maybe it is. Let's see. Scroll down a little bit. No. Uh, But yeah, no. In all seriousness, though, Avengers Disassembled. Guys can look it up on the spoilers. It's not out on Magic Online. It's not even coded in yet. But yeah, I think really it's gonna like how good that card is really gonna come down to it's really gonna come down to how good the sweeper part is. The reason being is that I was kind of playing main deck Geomancer's Gambit a bit, and it just it's not bad. It's just there are some matchups like Brute Scale, for example, where you don't necessarily need to be all in on the Ponza, but you do need to make sure you've got removal spells when you need it to disrupt the combo and stuff. So it's I don't know what to tell you other than that, I have a feeling Avengers Disassembled, it very well might be a sideboard card, just because it's really at its best when that 3 damage to all creatures is doing work. And like I said, I think Red-White Energy is probably where it's going to shine the most, because we actually could use. I was already moving in the direction of trying more sweepers, because I did find more sweepers was improving my win rate against Energy. I was actually trying like Day of Judgment in the sideboard. Anyway, like I think I probably babbled enough, but this is I'm excited because all indications are to me this red-white Ponza deck. It's the real deal. Obviously, whoever this Boros player was, who obviously is finishing this season as trophy leader, I'm not exactly. I think they're on Affinity, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure how yeah, I think I looked. Yeah, I think if you look up their results on MTG Goldfish, yeah, I think they're on Affinity. Affinity, I have actually, I think, generally a positive matchup against Affinity, although it definitely is kind of 50-50-ish. I mean, they can, depends how crazy of a hand they got. But anyway, I babbled enough. I'm excited that the Ponza deck seems so good. I do want to I do want to give a shout out to all my patrons. Uh, Thank you. Even though I am half Asian myself, I uh, do not know how to pronounce your name. Let me actually enter this into Google Translate. My apologies if Google Translate totally butchered this, but thank you to the Google language is not working. Well, anyway, I'll go from the bottom up here. Thank you to Michael Patton, Urban Lopez, Adrian King, um, uh, El Sinitis. Oh, you joined again, El Sinitis. Uh, yeah, thanks. You're a free member now. Oh, that's okay. I love my free members too. But okay. 1 second. Or maybe you did. Well, anyway, El Sinitis, Paul, Paul Wynn, Big Mamu, Alex Korthauer, Kasi Nebenlina, Jacob Bortone, Carlo MV, Aaron C. Actually, yeah, I think Carlo is new. Aaron C. I think is new. Bossy Zhang. Pleasure to yeah. Yeah. And unfortunately, I don't want to keep this waiting too long, but Google Translate is uh is not working for this name here. Oh, okay. Lao Yao Palace. Okay, I have no idea if this okay, here's the phonetics. Here's the phonetic pronunciation. Apparently, Lao Yao Gong. I mean, that's just what Google. That's just it. Google Translate is telling me this is simplified Chinese, and phonetically, because I can't pronounce this without Google's help. Lao Yao Gong, uh, or Lao Yao Palace. It's giving it a translation. I don't know if that's correct at all. I will tell you, um, I basically know no Japanese, but I actually I know a little bit of Japanese, and I can tell you that what tiny fraction I know, that sometimes Google Translate definitely messes that up. But not really. I don't really know Japanese. Don't quote me on that. I just more than anything, I guess my family members that do know tell me that that Google Translate definitely can mess it up. Um, but anyway, thanks everybody. I'll see you around. Um, and Y'all have a great. I'll have a great. Yeah, wishing you all the best. Am I still recording? Okay. All right. Take care, everybody.